Welcome back to the Notebook Check Tech Review channel on YouTube, and it's time for another Lenovo. It's time for another 510. We just did the 510S 13 and 14 inch versions. Let's take the 15 inch version. Now this isn't the S, this is the 510 15 inch version, and it is a real all-rounder. Scored 79% in our test review, which isn't the highest mark we've given to any laptop recently. And there are a few issues, but I've got a feeling about this one. This is going to be a really nice all-rounder. Definitely home, bedroom, student type oriented. It's a multimedia laptop with a DVD drive, and really importantly, these two access ports. Now, this is going for $799 retail. This is the version with the 1 terabyte hard drive in and the 940 MX GeForce graphics card inside, which will give you a little bit of a boost if you want to do any gaming. But there's a version of this out there with a 256 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and the standard 520 graphics from Intel on the U series Core i5. This is the i3 version. €579. Now that is an interesting starting point for an all-round PC, because the SSD on that storage system is important, because you've got space for a hard drive as well, so you can actually drop in a terabyte hard drive as well. I've taken the back of this, we've had a look, and you'll see just here there's a heat pipe for the GeForce 940 MX. Well, on the versions without the GeForce, I'm pretty sure that is where the SSD drops in. So you get an SSD here, you get a free slot here, you get access to the RAM, you get access to the Wi-Fi card as well. So let's just go around the device very quickly and talk about some of the specs and some of the ports on this. The screen is full HD, 1920 by 1080, so 69 resolution, ratio, matte. The color performance of it is not great. So where a full color range might be something like this, we're down at around 50% of the sRGB color space. So this is not a really poppy color screen. So it's really work oriented, you know, it's really, if you're working on Office, Word, that sort of stuff, it's perfect for that. But if you're working on graphics and photos and videos, maybe not enough of a color range. But it's an IPS screen, not the best viewing angles of IPS screens we've seen, so it's coming in fairly average. Contrast is okay, color accuracy for the colors that are there is reasonable. It's not top end, but it's a reasonable indoor office focused screen, and important that it's IPS and that it's got good contrast. So let's move down to the keyboard. The keyboard here has got a backlight on it. It's a reasonable keyboard. Trackpad is fairly small, but it's got separate pointers as well, which can be a bit weird in the middle. But if you're positioning yourself correctly on the edge of those mouse buttons, touchpad buttons, it's actually not too bad. I found overall the unit here to be pretty good, not too bad at all. There's a little bit of give in the keyboard if you push really hard, but not too bad. Oh, this mode here is quite nice. Can I do a demo? Student style, that's probably pretty good. Audio, okay. Loudspeakers, okay. Nothing special there. Performance of the hard drive in this version, not very good at all. And because you've got a CD drive on this side, you've got a problem with space for battery. There's only a 30 watt-hour battery inside this, which is really small for a 15-inch device, especially when you've got a discrete graphics card inside. So Wi-Fi battery run times, video battery run times, and gaming battery run times are really low. So this is the device that needs to be used in the home running between power sockets. Okay for an evening's worth of browsing while you're watching TV maybe, but if you're gaming on the go, this is not the device for you. A quick look at the ports here also gives us an idea that this is an office-focused PC. VGA output, obviously, for projectors and older screens. Gigabit Ethernet, HDMI, USB 3.1, and an SD card slot that's actually pretty slow. So if you're transferring HD videos from your cameras, this is a very slow SD card reader. If you're just transferring files between PCs, no problems, and obviously photo imports should be fairly okay there as well. Let's flip that round to the other side. You'll see two more USBs, and you'll see the DVD and a Kensington port lock. As I mentioned on the bottom, we can take a quicker look at that. There are the two access ports. I've had a look at those. You'll see me take the back off and even pull the hard drive out of that. So in terms of performance, it's classic Ultrabook territory. This is a dual-core U-series 15-watt TDP CPU inside, which means, again, office-focused, home-focused. And as this is a 2.1 kilogram device, this is the sort of weight where you could get a quad-core CPU in your laptop. Now, I've got exactly that. I've got a 2 kilogram laptop. It's a 13-inch lap, but it's got a quad-core inside, so that gives me pretty much the same sort of battery life as this has got, but a lot more power for the weight. So it's a matter of choices, really. If you need the DVD, a DVD writer, then this is probably the better choice, especially if you're going for sort of office-focused work. We found the performance to be just slightly below the average for these dual-core U-series 6200 CPUs. And when we go to the GeForce 940MX, it is, again, entry-level gaming. It's going to give you a boost of maybe 20-30% over some of the higher-end built-in graphics from Intel, but not a great deal. This is not going to be problem-free gaming for you, so you'll choose your games very carefully, and you'll have to set settings down for some of them too. Take a look at the full review. We've got I think 3 games we tested on this. You'll see the results there. You'll also see 3D Mark scores, PC Mark scores, storage Mark scores as well. So go to the full review if you need all the details on that. So to summarize, quite a nicely built, good-looking Ultrabook style, tending towards Ultrabook in terms of it being a little bit thinner, about 2 kilograms. This is not an ultra-mobile device with the small battery. This is not going to last a long time without being on the mains. It's office-focused, but have a look at the versions with the SSD only, without the GeForce graphics card. There might be a better option, especially as they're starting at under 600 euros. Full HD matte screen, SSD, backlit keyboard, and a dual-core Skylake U-series inside is a pretty good deal. And if the prices drop down even further, there could be quite some bargains. I've got a feeling this one's going to sell well in the market. Maybe not this GeForce version. The balance of the components here doesn't seem to add up for me. Personally, I wouldn't like to have the DVD drive. I'd like to drop in a bigger battery, but there you go. Some people are still using DVDs to write and pass data around. Watching films, of course, is also something as well. So that's the Lenovo 510 15-inch version. This version tested at 799, I think retail around 769 now, scored 79%, but go and check out the full review for all the details. And if you're watching on YouTube, watch the video there, click the video there, and you'll see the 510S 13-inch and 14-inch comparison video, which I did just a few days ago. They came in at 82 and 84% scores and might be more suited to people that want a thinner, lighter 1.5 kilo solution. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you've got anything out of this video. Don't forget to subscribe. You get notifications of all videos in the series coming up, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.